Hi there, my name's Jenny from after30.com, my pregnancy or baby journal blog, if you will. Today I've decided to show you a sewing project that I'm working on. I'm an absolute beginner sewer, so this is for you beginners out there, not experts. I've decided to use cloth diapers for my firstborn, and it would be hypocritical for me to use disposable wipes if I've chosen to do the cloth route. So I figure I need cloth wipes for baby's bum. So I've decided to make my own, and it's become a great little project for someone who wants to start off sewing. So what I've done is I've chosen 100% cotton flannel. Terry cloth is also a really great material as well. This particular flannel was about $9 a meter. I got way too much, but I am going to use this material for sheets as well as receiving blankets as well. So what I've done is I decided to choose two patterns that I liked. I chose a white one with little monkeys and letters and numbers and such. And I've also chosen a light blue unisex material as well. And I'm going to make two different types of wipes with those. I'm going to make them double-sided so they're a little more durable and nicer looking. So I chose to go with something that would match both fabrics. This one is a yellow checkered and white background. So this was going to go as the backing on both the white and the blue baby wipe. What I've done is I've gotten two different colors of thread, just one white and one blue that's going to match the baby blue wipe as well. Okay, so now we're going to get to the sewing. Okay, so this is a beginner's sewing project, so ideally it would probably be better to use a serger in this case so that the edges are cut and looped over so they don't fray. In my case, I couldn't find a serger, nor did I want to spend the money to buy one or learn how to use them because they're very difficult to use. So I'm just going with a straight sewing machine. And what I've done is I ended up sewing the edges flat together with a wide stitch and cut as close as possible to the exit or the outside of the stitch so that when it does wash, it will fray probably, but it'll be close enough to it that it may actually fall off and look pretty good. And the end result is quite nice actually. But these are just baby wipes. I'm not really worried about it. They're just going to be used for the bum anyways, so not to worry. Next step, we'll get to the sewing process. So I'm going to show you a colored thread versus doing all white. So we're going to do the blue one as an example. So you want to make sure that you're putting the pattern edges to the outside. So the inside is just the plain part of the fabric. And don't worry about the edges because you're going to sew in a round square pattern. So if the edges are ugly like this, don't even worry about it. You're going to be cutting it off anyways. So you want to flatten that together so that the nice ends are on the outside. Now, it's important that if you are going to use a colored thread, you want to use the thread on top that's going to match the fabric on top. The bobbin is going to be a different color, and I'm just using white. White works really well with this because it's a white background with yellow checkers. So the bobbin's actually going to be on the bottom. So it is important that when you're using colored thread, you want to match the colored fabric on top. If you were to do it this way, you'd end up having the blue thread on the yellow, and that's not what I want. I want to have the blue thread on the blue. For the stitch, I have chosen to go with a pattern stitch, which is on the top row here with lit up. That's the stitch I'm using, and it's been wonderful. It's nice and thick, and it looks really great. So I would advise using something similar. You want to leave about a ½ inch on every side here. So when you enter the fabric, I'm lining it up around 10, 15 and bringing it down maybe 1.5 inches, and then I lower the foot. Now when you first thread, your needle and bobbin, it is wise to actually test it on a scrap piece of fabric first, because sometimes the bobbin doesn't thread properly and you'll have a whole bunch of loops on the back side of the fabric that looks terrible. So it is wise to try and get the machine to work properly first before you actually go onto your fabric. So there we go. And you just let the sewing machine gently feed the fabric itself. Don't need to push it, don't need to pull it. Now as we get closer to a corner, I want to make a rounded corner. So I take my hand far on the outside here and I pull with my right underneath, and I simply slowly allow the needle to turn. And there's no need to actually stop the machine. You don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to put too much pressure on the needle, because it can cause the needle to break. So again, I'm using my left hand to pull on this back end of the fabric, my right on the front end, and just rotate. Easy. One more time. So we have one more side to do. It's relatively easy to actually match up the stitches on each side when we get to the end here. Just keep your eye on the needle. And here we go. So now I'm just going to try and match the two corners together. Slow it down if you need. Now, once I get to this point, I want to use the reverse button, and that just seals, almost knots the whole seam for you. And pull out, and there we are, our finished product. So obviously, cut around the edges, and you have a beautiful little baby wipe. Easy. So thanks for watching how to make a baby wipe. Again, my blog is after30.com, and it's basically all about being pregnant and what it feels like, what I learn along the way, recipes, all these other things. So join me on after30.com and get involved. Thanks very much. Have a great day.